say a little intro. Shall I say it? Do you want to say it?
You can say it.
I love how you used to be like, no, I'll say it, and now it's like, you fucking say it. You can say it.
Okay.
It's just fucking say it. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Game Breakdown Podcast, the podcast where we break down lots of different games. And welcome back. We are here officially. I don't think we actually said last episode that this is basically season 2.
Yeah, so we've decided that we're going to be bougie and create seasons.
Yes, so welcome to season 2.
Everyone.
Season 2!
Way. Made it to a second season.
A second saison.
Saison.
Saison 2.
Saison 2.
Saison 2.
Yeah, so second season. I don't think there's anything too different coming your way.
We're the same. We've not grown emotionally, spiritually, nothing. It's just the same thing. The
same old fun-loving gals and boys. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing's happened since the Resi 8 trailer, unfortunately. At least I don't think there is anything that's happened. Apart from the first for the big ladies.
Well, big girls doing it for themselves. Yeah. So nothing else I think has really developed too much. The only thing that I did see is that Chris is being voiced by, I forget his name now, but the man who voiced Carlos in RE3 Remake. So it looks like, yeah, I know, I see a look on your face. So it looks like that Capcom has brought Nicole Tompkins, and insert name here, back to voice some roles in RE8. So, with that being said, it means that he's definitely voicing he's definitely voicing Chris. Stop. I've been drinking. He's definitely voicing Chris, but we don't know if Jill's voice actress is actually voicing Jill, or could she be voicing a new character? Could she replace the voice acting for Mia? I don't know. So she's in it. We kind of think we know that much, but we don't know who she's voicing. It would be super cool if it was Jill, but that's the tea for today. Oh, and no one's found a use for the necklace. Still.
No one's found a use. Oh, no. So it's okay, yeah. I just went in backflips in my head then. So it could be, like you said, a situation where they just keep developing the demo.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Well, that's the only case. I mean, has anyone Googled this? Has anyone Googled the necklace?
I Googled the necklace and I found people being like, oh, what do you do with the necklace? So that was led me to, and no one knew. Okay. It was like the day after it came out, so it hasn't had time to cook. But I'm guessing that everyone's trying and doesn't know. So.
I mean, all the doors are locked, so in my opinion, the necklace is useless.
All those low res doors, they're all locked.
The low res doors. Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. That sucks, but whatevs. Yeah. It's almost February.
It is. January's almost over.
Yeah. What is out in February? Do we have any idea what's coming to us in February? Because I don't.
I don't know. Actually, you look that up, and while I have something to say. So, January is almost done, but my birthday's in January. So I did just have my birthday. Well, I say did just have. It was a while ago. It was 3 weeks ago. And Carrie did orchestrate a little plan with another friend of mine. So my friend Dave, and a few other friends as well, were organising stuff for my birthday, which was really nice of them, really kind. But he went behind my back and got into contact with you. Did he not?
He did.
Mr. And Dave. You used your wicked ways to force The Last of Us 2 upon me.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, I feel like Dave knew what was coming. He should have. Because if anyone's going to ask me what game someone should play, I'm going to say Last of Us Part 2. Like, I'm sorry everyone who don't like it, but I'm going to say Last of Us Part 2. We've been going on about this for like how many weeks now?
Since it came out, since it was teased, we've been talking about it.
And can I just say, you said to me in confidence at the beginning of this week, you were like, you know what, I've got some time. I'm going to play Last of Us Part 2. Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it on the podcast. And he didn't. So This is why we have no direction this week.
Direction. Look, I'm a busy boy. People don't even know. No, so it was my birthday, and I did open the present, and I did crack up laughing because obviously Dave is a fan. Hi, Dave. So he does listen, and
yeah, thanks, Dave, for like going with my recommendation. I appreciate.
He definitely did. He definitely did. It's because I keep saying I do want to play it 100%. I have nothing against this game. I really do want to play it, and you know, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, I'm really busy. I haven't got time for that, or I can't be asked to sink into like a whole storyline game. And I didn't have it at the time, and I was like, you know what? I don't even have it yet. Like, I'll buy it when it's right. And I kept saying, oh, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Never did. And then I literally now have no excuse. It's literally been bought for me and delivered to my door. Like, literally delivered to my doorstep. And he even brought it to me. He came here and dropped it off to me. So
Dave, you should have just at least put it in the fucking console.
Exactly. He could have put it in the console and turned it on. Do you know what I mean? It's just lazy.
So that's Dave's problem. He should have put it in the console.
No, but I really do appreciate that. So I do have Last of Us 2 that's been personally hand delivered to me, and it's sitting on my side. So I do promise that. Okay, I'm not going to outright promise and say, do you know what, I'm playing it and next podcast will be Last of Us 2, because we know what I'm like. And it's a heavy game, isn't it? Heavy game.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, I can agree and say that, like, you know, when you're ready to like invest yourself in it, then in my opinion, like, give yourself a good few days to play it, like,
yeah,
consistently.
I will say, coming up, I mean, people don't really know what we do completely for a living, but let's just say I'm going to have some time off for a week coming up very soon, and I think I'm going to use that time to play Last of Us 2. So, which means that not the next one coming, but the one after should be a Last of Us Part 2 podcast. So everyone better brace themselves, because you've all said it and you're all making me play it, so let's go. Like, I'm ready to critique the hell out of it.
I feel like now the whole drama surrounding the Last of Us games have calmed down and subsided. It'll be nice to get your like fresh opinion on it. Yeah. Because I think I remember you saying like you haven't been like exposed to too many opinions on the game or too many spoilers. So I'm hoping like we'll get like a fresh opinion that's not kind of already been done, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just going to put it all on you. Like, you need to bring something new to the table. We need something different, fresh.
Fun, fresh and funky. Let's go. No, I'm excited because, I mean, when we played Last of Us Part 1, I mean, we played it before, but when we played it in preparation for this podcast, that was when we were just starting. And it's actually, people probably don't know, it was like our pilot episode. So we recorded it and we didn't have proper mics. It sounded awful. I think it made some good points, but we had to record it again. And then there was an issue with the second recording, wasn't there, where literally bits cut out and we had to record it a third time. And by the time I recorded it the third time, I didn't really give a shit about what I was saying about this game. Yeah. And I feel like that probably didn't help it. So I feel like if we do this fresh from playing Last of Us 2, I'll have some more concrete opinions. I really enjoyed Last of Us 1. And if you were to hear the 3 episodes that we recorded on it, which 2 disappeared into the ether, I'm sure they would be much better. But anyway, Last of Us 2 will be coming very soon.
Last of Us will be coming very soon. And yeah, I think it's still a really good game to talk about. I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that have played it and have a lot of passionate opinions, whether they're good, bad, or kind of like in the middle. So yeah, I still think it's still something good to talk about. One of the best games of last year that came out, in my opinion. And yeah, it's fine. It's relevant. I think it's still relevant. A lot of people are still comparing. I mean, okay, so the PS5 has been out like not even how many months has it been out now? Not even 4 months, 3 months, something like that. So
what are you talking about?
Do you know what? No, listen, yeah, I was getting there. So I'm saying it's relevant because basically people are still comparing graphics to The Last of Us, saying this is like a last gen game. Look how good it looks. And like,
I see. Okay.
Shit. But I just got confused. So.
You just went on a whole journey. We've been drinking. Like we tend to have a little drink during the podcast, but we've really gone a little bit ham this time. So I'm just gonna. I hope the microphone picked up on that. Cheers.
Oof, there was like a little.
Can you hear it fizzing?
No.
Oh, how about now?
I think so.
Us when we turn into an ASMR channel. Welcome back to the podcast.
We've actually, threw around some ideas and said that one day we might do an ASMR episode of us just doing what we do, but in ASMR. Yeah. So should I talk about some games coming out this month?
Talk about some
So I've
games
got the
coming out this
list.
month. What's coming out this month? Let the people know.
Okay, so season 8 of Apex Legends
For fuck's
is
sake.
coming
Talk
out
about
on the
something
2nd of
interesting.
February.
It's Apex season 8. Okay, so Apex is a very successful game franchise. Cool. Basically Fortnite. Next. I'm gonna get dragged.
Control Ultimate Edition. I never
Oh.
played Control.
No, neither did I. But it does. Is this the telekinetic woman?
Yes, and it's
Okay.
free for PlayStation Plus members this month in Feb.
Oh, well, I'll be getting that then because that did look
Yeah.
really fun.
Same, I'm gonna get it. I've heard some really, really good things about it. Apparently, it's a very, very good looking game as well. So that's gonna be really, really good. That and Concrete Genie, I think, is the second game that's out.
Concrete Genie.
Yeah, It looks like a really fun game. It's all like colourful, kind of. It's like I wouldn't say it's like a kid's game, but it's very much like set through like a kid's eyes. Looks beautiful.
Cool.
Second proper game coming out in February is Cultist Simulator on the Switch.
What the fuck?
So I'm guessing you simulate having a cult.
I'm kind of here for that.
I am as well, you know. I'm not gonna lie.
Very
I'd go with that.
is it Westboro Baptist Church? The ones that Louis Theroux went to. Like, very that, yeah.
We have Werewolf the Apocalypse, Earthblood. I don't know if I've seen too much on that. Like, I've seen
No, I
bits on
haven't.
it, but like, I'm not that bothered. We're just gonna start ripping off things. Shit. Kinetic Edge, not a clue. It's a PC title. Neo Remastered, which is like a Dark Souls kind of esque game.
These all done. Like, is there loads more? Are they any wait, when's Stray coming out? That's all we care about.
Yeah, when is Stray coming out? I feel like
When
that's
is
a
Stray
March
coming out?
one.
That is something I'm really excited to see. I know, like, people probably think, what are you doing? Keep talking about this game. But go and watch the PS5 showcase. Was it the showcase? What was it called? State of Play? Was it State of Play?
State of Play, yeah.
And they released footage of it. And it's the most simple of thing. It was like you play as a cat just walking around a city, but there was some kind of, like, mystery behind it. And, like, it looked really interesting and it looked beautiful. And we were both just texting at the time because obviously I don't know if anyone know, we do not live together. We live quite far apart. And we were texting, watching it. And I was like, I don't know about you, but like, I'm really into this cat game. And you were like, yeah, this is going to be the one. And now
So
I'm just waiting for it.
there's no see, that's the thing, there's a lot of games that came up in State of Play that looked fucking awesome, and there's
Yeah.
no actual release dates for them, so they're going to kind of drop when they drop. So Stray hasn't been given an official release date, which is sad, but it looks so good. It's set in like this dystopian future where everyone's robots, but then there's just this like cute little ginger cat that's like just a stray, obviously, like just roaming around. So that's a really interesting take, and I never thought I'd be so excited to play as a cat, but I am.
Yeah, I
I'm
know,
here for it.
right? I'm here for it. Right. There's something we do have to talk about this episode. I've just remembered. So, it turns out the Gaming Bible is a stan of our podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to assume that. Now, anyone who listens and kind of maybe takes note or remembers what we talk about, we
No
say
one.
some things. And the latest thing to come up is the Gaming Bible, which is like a Facebook group, isn't it? I think more than
Yeah.
anything. But they're like a social media group.
Yeah, they're all over. They're on like Twitter, Instagram, whatever, but mainly Facebook, I think.
And the last thing they did was new Tomb Raider game. Gonna be, was it gonna be closer to the originals or something? And then it was like, as long as I can lock the butler in the fridge. And I was like, and we were like, we literally not too long ago did that. And there was, what was the other one?
So
There was
the other
something
one,
else.
the one, because you sent me the Tomb Raider one after it dropped, and the one that dropped that I sent you was Croc Remake apparently in the works. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, we spoke that into existence. So either someone over at these development companies is secretly listening to our podcast and just catting our ideas, which, one, take them, two, throw us some money on the side. But like, either way, or
plug.
Gaming Bible, or plug, yeah, or Gaming Bible is just a stand, because I think there's a third one. I think there was a third one, and we were like, did we not just say we would like to see a remake of this? So
Yeah,
first
it
we
just
said we want to
gives
see a
some
remake of
weird
Croc, and it's coming out.
conspiracies.
Very
So
weird.
They're either standing us, or we're psychic and we figure things out before like there's official stuff coming.
Official
like
word.
Game and Bible.
We've got like secret links.
So maybe, guys, just like if anything happens, like you've heard it here first. Like if you're able to lock the butler in the fridge, like in 2022, like you heard it here first. Like
If you're able to lock the butler in the fridge in 2022, you're welcome. Do you know what I mean? Like that's all I got to say. Like it was bizarre because we spoke about Croc needing a remake.
We did, yeah.
And I literally think it was a few weeks after we'd filmed that one, recorded it, that link was posted. And then literally we spoke about the Tomb Raider one. I think it was just before Christmas. I think it was just before the Christmas special, possibly. Maybe in the Remakes episode we talked about it with everything else. And then they said remake of Tomb Raider, because it's for the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider, 25th special anniversary. They're releasing the original games. Now they've released the original games and quite a few times. They released actual Tomb Raider anniversary, like on another anniversary, which was the first game come out again, but they're doing it again close to the originals, which I think is just fantastic. So, and it's apparently today it was confirmed. When we saw it was speculation. It's been now confirmed. So can't wait for that. You're welcome. I'm just gonna say it again. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I hope I don't get done for that. Like,
I was gonna say. Moana stand.
We have no rights. We own no rights to that song.
Yeah, we own no rights. Disney, don't sue us, please. We're sorry. We're really sorry. But yeah, that was quite interesting that we're predicting the future.
Yeah.
So in honor of that, shall we continue predicting the future? Is there something else that we would like to see a remake of? Should we give Gaming Bible some more content because they're struggling? So let's give them some more content.
Gaming Bible, if you're here for it. Yeah, I'm gonna say, let's go with a Jack and Daxter, a new Jack and Daxter game.
Oh yeah, let's go with a Jack and Daxter.
Doesn't have too much of a wide audience, so if no one knows that, maybe like a Gex. Gex was a good game.
Gex, that's a throwback. Gex was not a bad game. Joe, I never had Gex, but the first time I played it was around your house when we were like 12. Because I always wanted Gex. Because, okay, do you remember the demo discs that you used to get? Obviously, the PSN, like, that had the music like, around, like that music when you hear, I can't do it. When we'll do it. Should I try and find the music to play to people? They will understand. When we had like those, I remember there was some demos that I really enjoyed playing. And Gex was one of them. And the other one, do you ever remember a demo for a game called, it was called something like Roscoe McQueen? And he was like a firefighter.
No.
And it was like, Roscoe, you have to put out the building. And he'd be running around and he'd be spraying the walls with water to put the fire out. But he'd also then have to like spray the enemies with water.
No, but it sounds like I'd have fucking loved it.
It's bloody brilliant. Here, this is like... Oh, we don't need an advert to be playing while I'm trying to...
Right, okay, so one thing that's not to do with gaming, but YouTube, like, sort it out. I swear, every time you try to watch a video, you will get an ad at the start. Even
and the ads are getting
people
worse.
that don't want ads on their videos, YouTube are like, nah, you're going to have one. You know? I mean, they've got to make the pee, but, you know, it's no point.
Make the pee. It was always like hardcore EDM.
Yeah.
Like, or like pill popper music, and you were like, oh yeah, let's play some demos.
Oh, it was so good, though.
Doesn't this take you back in time? But then there's the other one. Where's the like... Just like all this terrible like EDM. Listen to the menu options. It's terrible, but it's so good. Every time I hear it, it takes me back to like 1995, and I'm like, oh, there I am.
Back in the day.
Back in the day when things were easier. Do you know what I mean?
Things were easy. Games were just not easy, actually. Because when you go back and play some games, they are not easy. All right, so what are you going to predict? I mean, what are you going to bring to the table?
I was going to say something with my mouth open, just waiting for you to be quiet. I'm trying not to interrupt you. I'm trying to be a new year, new me person.
You
so
are, because, right, that's it, though, innit? When you listen back, every time I start to talk, you're like, yeah, but anyway, so...
I'm like moving with my opinion. Hold on, shush.
I'm trying not to talk as much either. I'm sorry. I don't know whether I'm overdoing it and you're underdoing it now. Like, I don't know. We need to find a balance. We need to get our chi in check.
I'm trying just to not overtalk you, so like I'm trying my hardest. It probably won't last very long, so enjoy it while it's here. But anyway, one game that is terrible but also brilliant I'd like to see. I don't even really want it remade. This is a lie, but I'd love to see just like a small See, she went to say something, but she knew not to overtalk me. So it was like...
I know. I don't want to forget it, but go on.
I wanted like it's like I'd like a little remaster, Cooler World.
All right, I'm not mad about that. Like, I will 100% agree with you there. Cooler World is amazing. I think we only ever owned like the demo on.
Yeah, I know about the real thing.
And it was just like, doo-doo, and then your little ball would be like, bow, bow, and it would be like, and you'd be like swinging around and like twisting these levels. It was so good, and like, I don't know what it was about that game, but it was on point.
That impression was spot on.
Like a Tetris, like they remade that Tetris, and everyone was obsessed with it.
That Tetris, that one.
That Tetris.
that Tetris from down the road.
That old game. But they remade that, and everyone was obviously loves it. Like, it's a really, really good, fun game, and I think they should do something similar.
Oh, for the Switch, yes, it did. My friend was telling me about this. Yeah. Cooler World was for the PS1. For anyone who doesn't know, and it was basically it was the weirdest concept for a game. It was like you were a 3D beach ball. In like on like, and it was like a puzzle game. So there was a 3D blocks, and you would essentially move along them. But they would be like almost like, do you remember like in maths in like year 9 you learned about the impossible shapes, like the impossible triangle that was like twisted. It's like that, wasn't it? It was like twisted cubes, and you would have to find a way to move up the wall and then go around to the other side to get like a key. You get like a key or two, or you collect fruit along the way, wouldn't you? Yeah.
So you'd have like a certain amount of fruit that you'd have to collect, and you'd obviously have like a timer that would go down, and then like a little kind of like time thing, and you'd collect that, get more time. Yeah, and then eventually when you got that, you'd be in this like psychedelic high score area that was all blue with like, it was trippy. I mean,
it was basically a PS1 demo background.
Yeah, I think whoever made that game was like on something, but like it worked. Really fun game, really underrated. In America, I think it was called Roll Up or something, or Roll Away. It might be Roll Away in America, because I was trying to find Cooler World for ages, because I have like an emulation machine.
Yes, we
do. Machine. And I don't know why I say it like that. And I was looking
I'm an expert if you don't know.
And it's called Roll Away. So yeah, if anyone knows it by that name, it's really cool. Yeah, cool. I'd love that. That would be so good.
Yeah, like I don't really want to play 400 levels of it, but like I'd like just to revisit it for a little bit, even if they just released the original for a little bit with just some more polished graphics. It was a lot because you could jump as well. You could like bounce. You kept. Would you collect power ups? Was there some kind of power up or something? Because there was like little traps, wasn't there? Like spikes that would raise up, and you'd have to not puncture the ball.
You had to jump over them. I don't think I ever got far enough for that. But you know, like some of those games where like
the demo wouldn't allow us to go that fast.
But you know, when sometimes you play like a game and then you come back to it later on, and you're not so much captured by the gameplay, but you're just captured by like how it looks and the sound, like the music. Are you done? Can you hear my cat?
Can your cat not interrupt the podcast, please? It's really rude.
I'm busy. She was like, no, hold up, I ain't about that. I don't want that.
She's like, fuck Cooler World. This is not...
Wow. This is not the time. Hello. Yeah, but sometimes it's just the music that gets you.
Yeah, the music. the music was good, and it was interesting, and we're still talking about it now at the age of 29, so clearly it had some kind of lasting impression. More to do with that psychedelic backbound? I should put this wine down, shouldn't I? Background. But yeah, Cooler World. Whoever developed it, I don't know. Sort yourselves out.
I was literally about to say Prince of Persia.
Oh.
I don't know if you can hear my cat or not, just like purring into the microphone. I was going to say Prince of Persia, but like now I'm not so sure because I've seen how it's being remade.
Well, let's quickly talk about that. Has there been any more news on that? Because
no, not that I've been aware of. I'm pretty sure it's coming out this year though.
When you showed me that picture, I went to be sick. It looked like it was on the PS2. And in 2020, that's not it. That's not the one.
That's not the one, hon.
That is not the one, hon. Not okay with that. But no. Very... No.
Not a
Just
fan.
No. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. Oh, okay. No, wait. Hold on. Speaking of Resident Evil, let's go right back because we didn't mention this. You sent me a text the other day of a screenshot. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Do you remember what apparently has been released by Gaming Bible? We're like going to Uno reverse card them, and we're going to steal their content rather than them steal our content, or we're going to steal theirs. That they reported that apparently according to sources, according to people, that Resident Evil 8 is going to be an open world game.
I am. I don't feel like I'm okay with this.
I don't understand how that's going to work. I mean, I'm actually going to pull the article up now that I found.
Unless it's open, like open linear world, which was basically more like, I'd say Resident Evil 4 was kind of like open world, but like linear, open linear.
Yeah. Okay. No, linear. I know what you mean. Linear.
And then they obviously tried with Resi 3, and that to me was like the smallest linear game I've ever played. Not even open world.
Yeah, I would not call that open world at all. If you get to choose to go into 3 separate buildings, just which one you get to go into first, I don't really consider that open world. I consider that game. I like Resident Evil. No, I'm not even going to go over. We've made a whole episode about it. We haven't got to go through it again, but it's a really great game. But it could have been amazing, and it's actually just. It's not. But the fact that, okay, this all stems from apparently is they have released, obviously, the pre-orders for Resident Evil across a lot of consoles, and they released the pre-order on Steam, and Steam tagged it as, horror, survival horror, whatever, action, and then the word open world appeared in the tags, and people are confused as to why they did that. But this isn't just Steam picking that tag, it's apparently based on official information. I don't know how that would work.
It wouldn't work because, when you think of an open world game, every open world game has some form of enemy at a base or some kind of fight mechanic where that wouldn't.
Surely that turns the game into an RPG of some sorts, because to have an open world, you need to have multiple quest lines, multiple character interactions, multiple story deviations, because you need to be able to explore things at your own pace. You also need to have optional things that you can completely skip because it's open world and you choose not to do that quest or that mission or that option or whatever. And with a merchant being there again, I can see possibly how there could be some kind of element if you're buying your own weapons and stuff and upgrading them. I can get that portion of it, but I don't see how it would be an open world experience without changing the entire genre.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a situation of like, how open world is it? Is there just kind of going to be a lot more variety in environments and maybe going to and from areas, and it's quite a big map, and maybe it's not like open world as we'd expect it, and us as the internet have gone, shit, it's gonna be like Assassin's Creed but fucking Resident Evil 8, like,
yeah,
which I just don't think that would work. I mean, they definitely can still do open world-esque kind of style things, but not like a full open world, because to me that would be weird. But then again, when you look at some of the trailers, and there's like a part in it where there's these massive werewolves that jump down and you're fighting them, and that very much does look like quite open world to me. The fact that you would run somewhere and then you'd have like quite like a bit of a fight scene, but I can't imagine it being in an expansive open world. Like you said, it would change the genre. It would just be really odd. It would just be, it would just be strange, like, to do that. And if they fill it with like filler stuff, like collecting a million different things, that for me would just be annoying. Like, that always takes things away from me. So that, I don't know how I feel about that. I hope that's not the case. I hope it's slightly open world, but not like officially open world.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I would like them to include, like, to expand the story and the character interactions and stuff to the point where, like, you could meet multiple people, or you could have multiple endings. Like, Resident Evil has done that before with, like, even back to the original, the very first one had, and good endings and bad endings where, like, you could save Chris and Barry, or Jill and Rebecca, or you could just save one of them, or you could save none of them, or you could blow the mansion up, or you could not blow the mansion up. Like, there was like they've done that kind of stuff before, but to have it as a complete open world game, I think would be, I mean, they could prove me wrong, but a bit of a mistake, really. It could be interesting if they did it well, but I just don't understand. I don't personally understand how that would work. I feel like there's already a lot of changes in the game, because it does seem it's going to be more supernatural than virus based, unless a lot of this could be like hallucinations of a virus. They've gone down that route before. But have you ever seen the cancelled footage of what Resident Evil 4 was supposed to be before they changed it again?
No,
so
I actually haven't.
That's interesting. You should look at that. I'll send it to you afterwards. So Resident Evil 4, when it was in production, was quite a spooky game, and it became like quite like Japanese horror. So basically Leon was visiting a castle. It's quite similar to this actually. Leon was visiting a castle for some reason to either save someone or because of the virus that took him there or something, and he ended up becoming infected at the beginning of the game. And the idea was that Leon would have, do you remember the Prince of Persia Two Thrones, where like he was infected with the sand, and then like you play some bits of the prince and some bits as the Dark Prince, a little bit like that, where Leon would have a virus moment and there was like ghosts around him, and there was a ghost with a scythe, like a Grim Reaper's scythe that would chase him, that was a spirit, and like you had to run from it, and there was like creepy dolls that would get up and walk around. Like it was very much paranormal activity, spooky ghosts kind of stuff. And then they decided it went too far and then went back to doing a more traditional Resident Evil, and then they still changed it a lot anyway. but
do we think that there's going to be some design and maybe even some previously built / coded sort of things for that original concept? Because I mean, as much as I feel like Resident Evil 8 is almost sort of found its place, I do feel like there is so much resemblance with Resident Evil 4. Like I just keep getting these vibes from it.
Yeah, I do
and
too.
I don't think we're like the only ones. So maybe they are going to now branch into that. And if that is the case, everyone, you heard it here first. Like,
yeah.
if there gets a thing, and if Game and Bible do it, I'm going to clip this and I'm going to do a court case.
We're going to submit it as a Game and Bible and let them know that we know that they're listening.
But that very could be the case. Like, I quite like that idea. That is, like you said, it's very kind of like Japanese horror, like Fatal Frame, things like that. Like that kind of creepy being chased by like ghosts and stuff. And like, I do like that. That would be really cool. But also not Resident Evil as I know it. But we say that every time. We just need to accept it's different now.
Well, that's the thing. I was thinking about that recently. Is that Resident Evil is not what it used to be, in the sense that the genre has changed and stuff. But do you know what? If that's the direction they're going in, that's the direction they're going in. All that matters is that I, as a fan, still appreciate their games. And if it comes to a point where I don't enjoy them anymore, then I won't buy them anymore. Simple as. Even though that'd be like quite heartbreaking. But
are you going to pre-order Resi 8?
Well, I haven't yet, but I think I'm going to.
I feel like it's one of those things where you won't do it, and then it will get to like the
day before, and I'll be like, pre-order. Yeah, pre-order it because it comes out in 3 hours' time. I think I'm going to, because at the end of the day, it does look exciting. I mean, I don't enjoy first-person games, but it's Resident Evil, and like we all know, I'd bend over backwards for them. So yeah, I'm going to pre-order it. I'm not going to go crazy and pre-order like a collector's edition, because that's probably sold out already. But I'm definitely going to pre-order like a deluxe or something, because...
And I mean, you did get burnt by Resi 3, but we'll stop going down that avenue.
We'll stop going down that route, because that really still hasn't... That wound hasn't healed.
Yeah.
That wound hasn't healed. That wound hasn't healed. That I pre-ordered the collector's
probably
edition.
not going to buy... I'm probably not going to pre-order... I will buy it. I will buy Resi 8. I feel like I have to. I feel like even if it's just for like research...
Yeah.
We need to explore it. So yeah, I will get it. Probably won't pre-order it though.
Do you know what I've been thinking? I've been thinking that I'd like to... I mean, I play the old Resident Evils quite a lot of the time. I haven't played them in a while, good few months, but I'd like to go back again. But I feel like I would like to give Resident Evil 4 another try. Because I have tried to play it a couple of times, and each time I try and play it, it's just a huge no. It's a hard R, like it's a no thank you. But now, like, I don't know, there's still so much hype about this game, and everyone still says it's the best one ever, and I really can't see why. I don't really enjoy it, but I have never finished it. I have only played it for a short time, and I think it doesn't even hold my interest. So I feel like, you know, like, did you ever watch Game of Thrones? The first episode was like, oh my god, that's amazing, and the second one was a bit like, okay, and then you realise you had to push through the first 3 before like it became one of the most amazing series ever until the last season. So like, I feel like I need to kind of push through and get past the first couple of hours of the game and maybe I'll appreciate it more. So like, yeah, I'd like to do that.
I'm probably
do
the
that on
same.
Twitch.
Yeah, I'm probably the same. Though I did start and ended it on Twitch, but it would be good if you did a stream of it and we can just talk through your experience with it via stream. I think that would be cool. At some point we should definitely organise that maybe. But yeah. Maybe we should. Maybe we're being too harsh. Maybe it's an us problem, and all, you know, Capcom and the Resi franchise and everything is doing is just moving with the times. And I don't hate it, to be honest. I really don't hate it. I'm actually quite excited about it.
I'm excited about RE8. I'm not excited about RE-verse.
Not excited about RE-verse. Do we... Right, okay, here's a question.
Okay,
Do you think that open world's becoming boring now? Like, I know you don't necessarily like it, but do you feel like it's become too, like, mainstream now? Because, like, I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't actually know of any decent games that aren't, like, open world anymore. Like, I don't know. That was just an off-the-topic random thought that just... You know when you just have a thought and you just go with it, and you're like...
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. I really enjoy open world games. I like them a lot. Like when you think about like classic sandbox open world games, like I guess you're thinking about GTA, you're thinking about like Skyrim, you're thinking about like Dragon Age, you're thinking about all those kind of games where you can kind of do whatever you kind of want. Like even the new Spider-Man, really completely open world game. Like I do really enjoy them, but the thing is, some styles of gaming, like context and stuff, lend themselves towards it, and some of them just don't. Like for example, Spider-Man really works because you are a vigilante. You can do things in whatever order you want to, because Spider-Man does things in whatever order he wants to. He swings around, and if he hears the popo being like, oh my god, then like he'll go and help them. Do you know what I mean? It makes sense in that way. The reason Resident Evil for me doesn't make sense being an open world game is because usually your idea is that, especially at this point in the game, it's not the first one, we know what's up. We know it's a virus. We know there's zombies. We know there's like, and then mutating the virus with each game. Transformations get worse. We know there's always a bad guy. They would really like. I feel like if Resident Evil was real life and I was Ethan Winters and I was pulled into this drama, I'd know exactly what was going on. Like, right, someone's mutating the virus. I've got to go and stop X. You know, whoever that person is that's doing all this bad shit. So I feel like it's hard to do that because you always know the end point. Do you know what I mean? I can guarantee that Resident Evil will end with a semi-good ending. You'll blow up the mansion, blow up the house, blow up the building, blow up whatever the evil thing is, and you will end up surviving. All of the Resident Evil games are essentially the same thing.
They are, though, aren't they?
They all end with an explosion.
An explosion at the end.
RE1, mansion blows up. RE2, the lab gets blown up and you escape by train. RE3, whole city gets fucking blown up. RE4, can't tell you, haven't finished it. RE5, you blow up Wesker with the rocket launchers. RE6, the whole world goes to shit and you blow a lot of shit up. RE7, the house is destroyed and blown up at the end when you escape. RE8, I'm guessing the castle blows up. Like they have. It's a testament,
Spoilers,
really.
By the way, guys.
It's a testament that they've stuck around for so long because they are essentially all the same game. Like the story is all the same, just in different fonts. Like,
I guess it's like if something's not broken, don't fix it. Let's keep rolling it out. You know,
like I'm here for that.
People are buying it. Yeah.
See, this is why I want to give RE4 another chance because it can't be the only one that I dislike. I mean, RE6 is not good. Don't get me wrong, but. Yeah.
Right, how long is RE4? Because I'm going to say this.
No, babe.
Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't
why
finished
am I
it.
asking you? Okay, hopefully, all right, we're going to have to figure out how long it is because maybe we should just like both play it ready for next week and see if either of us have a changed opinion on Resi 4.
I would think we should. I think we should stream that.
So you'd rather stream than us play separately and form our own opinions?
Oh, I don't know. We need to ponder about that one. I'm not sure.
Ponder about that. Okay, so like maybe like next time we talk, we might be doing like a thing of like for.
We're streamers now.
We're streamers now. We just need to figure out a way to get ourselves like set up so that people can hear what we're saying when we stream games because we're not sure how to get both of our audio working and sharing a screen at the same time.
Unless we just play it together, one of us plays it, one of us spectates, or we play it like literally. I mean, we're not even. If you lived in London, we could pass the control from one end of the couch to the other side, but you just refuse. So
I moved away from the LDN. I'm sorry.
You moved away from the LDN from London town, so we could either do it. One of us plays and one of us spectates, and get like a true joint reaction of like, what the fuck, or like, oh my god, we were wrong. This is amazing. Not likely, but you know.
I know. I want to know. Right, because I feel like since the beginning of our podcast, you know, we do throw a lot of opinions and a lot of shade at things that we don't like, and we're not sorry about it. But maybe we should be sorry about Resi 4 because there's not many people apart from like us two that say that we're not feeling it.
Yeah.
And maybe we just didn't give it long enough. I don't know how far into it you got.
I don't even remember. I played it because I tell you what, it all stems from. Let's like step back in time, as Kylie said. We're gonna go like it all stemmed from basically it never came out on PlayStation first, and then I
Right.
just couldn't buy it. I never had a GameCube or anything at the time.
So maybe it's not that you don't like the game. Maybe you're just bitter.
Maybe
and
I'm
you
bitter.
just refuse to accept that PlayStation wasn't it.
That wasn't the one. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just upset. Maybe I haven't got over the grudge. I'm bitter. I'm upset.
That's a bit of a like a what was it like a memory fucking like recess. What is it when you hide
It's like
your
a
memories?
memory. Repressed.
It's a repressed memory. You repressed it. You just don't like it because
It's all coming out now. It's all been bubbling to the surface, and I'm like, I just can't get over the fact.
It's probably a fucking amazing game.
It's probably like the sickest game ever invented. Everyone was right. No, it wasn't released on the PlayStation 2 at the beginning, and it was just released on GameCube, and I was like, what the fuck? I haven't got a GameCube. I'm not buying a GameCube Resident Evil 4, and my mum was not about to buy me a GameCube after just buying me a PlayStation for Christmas, so, one and done. But then it eventually came out on the PS2, I believe, but by that point it's too far gone. I was too bitter, as you just said. So then when I eventually did play it, I played it, I believe, I had a GameCube emulator, and I played it, and then because I was playing, okay, this is how fucked up it is. I was playing on my laptop, emulating GameCube software with a GameCube ROM, playing with a PlayStation controller. So I had to map the buttons, and the controls were difficult for me. And I think it's because I was playing with such a backward setup, because I was like really searching high and low, like I've got to play Resi 4. My brother loves it. It's got to be sick. And then I couldn't get through the first like half an hour of it. It's not that it was too hard or anything. It was just like it didn't grab me by the balls. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I am going to say I weren't a fan of the controls. It felt very loose and cheap. Like, I like a bit of weight in my games. Like, I like my characters to kind of feel a bit heavy, and like it's very quick, and that's just kind of what I got from that. But that just might be me being like overly sensitive to things.
Yeah.
But I got up to like, I did 2 bosses, to be fair. I did two big sort of fights. And at that point, I guess I don't know. I felt like I just weren't clicking with it. But yeah, like I feel like I think we owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to people that love Resi 4.
We owe it to
play the
Leon
game.
to play Resi 4. See, there's that.
Eat our words.
Have you've never ventured into Code Veronica, have you?
No, but I have been given it to me as a gift, and I need to play it. But I need some wires for my PS2. So
you've been given it as a gift?
Yeah, I was given it as a gift, so I'm very excited to play that.
Oh, who gifted you Code Veronica? What angel gifted you Code Veronica?
This angel's called Ryan, and he is one of my Twitter friends who gifted me with it. So I really, really need to play it, and I've only ever heard really good things about it as well.
Shout out to Ryan. That is a present and a half.
Ryan's
Code Veronica is Ryan's good egg. We love Ryan. Code Veronica is a really good one. I really like Code Veronica. Oh, fun fact, they had to remake it. Not remake it. They re-released it not so long after they released it originally, under the name of under the name of
Now Gone Australian.
Under the name of Code Veronica X, and they had to call it Code Veronica X because it had to be different, because there's a character in it. It's about Claire. It's a you play as Claire, but there's a second character, as we know, all Resident Evils tend to have a second character called Steve, and he was closely resembled Leonardo DiCaprio to the point where I believe Capcom were afraid of a lawsuit, and when they re-released it, had to change his look. So
that is a good fact.
It is a good fact, isn't it? I thought you might like that one. He's a fucking shit character. We hate Steve, but and you'll see why when you play. It's not even because it's just funny. The way they've just made him is so funny, and there's like a really weird few scenes where you look at Steve and you're like, "Oh, Steve, don't do that. Stop. It's funny."
I'm excited to play it. I'm excited to play on a PS2.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we play them both together? But I'll play Resi 4 and you play Code Veronica, because I've played Code Veronica quite a few times.
I feel like we should do this, but I do still want to do a comparison of our thoughts on 4.
No, I feel like do 4, then discuss 4, and then Code Veronica, and then discuss Code Veronica.
Yeah, I'm down for that. We're back on the Resi bus.
We're back on the Resi bus. Keep the fuck up.
In season 1 of Game Breakdown, we originally were doing Resi episodes each time. And now we've had a break and we're going back. Yeah, I'm down for that.
New Year, same us.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I feel like we're like part Resi channel, part game channel.
I'm just waiting for Capcom to throw a sponsor. That's our way, to be honest with you, frankly.
Yeah,
they did.
Back, guys.
I was almost part of their ambassador program, but at the time I didn't really. They were like, "Oh, be an ambassador," and I was like, "Okay." And then I didn't. And it was like, to be an ambassador, you have to post regularly on social media. You have to do this, you have to do that. And I was like, I'm just really not. I can't be asked. I'm really sorry. I love you, but not that much. And then I just closed the laptop.
You say not that much, but like, you're a fan. You're a fan.
Oh no, a fan, but just not a social. Like, I have my own social media,
Social media. Yeah, I mean, to any right. Okay, so like, I'm gonna say because I've not been on Twitter for a while, and I know there's probably some people from Twitter that are listening. Yeah, I've not posted in a while as I've got some like other things going on, like work-wise and things like that.
Some other projects in the works.
Yeah, another project. So I've been busy. I might return.
So dramatic. Hey guys, I've been gone for a while, but like
I miss you. Thank you for being here.
My fans have missed me, and I will return one day.
I know, but you know what it is with me and like social media is I love it, but then at the same time, like I don't love it because it just takes up so much time. Like you get warped into it, and you know we're busy enough like anyway. And social media to me, like you can just spend hours. Like I've just lost so many hours being sat on Twitter, and I'll look up and I'll think, where is those 2 hours gone? You know. And, you know, I actually love Twitter. Like, I've met so many great people on there, but it just takes up way too much time. So as nice as it would be to be an ambassador, like, you've got to be in it, you know, for things like that.
Definitely. And I think one thing that also is that this is not, like, we wish it could be our job, but we are not, like, podcasters by profession. This is, like, a passion project as well as all the other things that we do. If it was
our job, better know, I would be on Twitter, I'd be on Instagram, we'd
be
like,
all over that.
Everywhere. Fortunately, it's not the case. So.
Fortunately, it's not the case, but yeah, hopefully one day, you never know, in a couple of years, in 20 years, we'll be like the famous TGB. Just, we're both like, no, that won't happen.
We just like zoned out at each other, like, okay.
Right, okay, so no, right. But yeah, so we would definitely love to do some streaming of Resident Evil. I feel like it would be a really fun ride. So Resident Evil 4 and Code Veronica could be upcoming. Not saying that we're going to be forgetting the Last of Us 2 because we won't. I'll definitely make sure I do that now.
Yeah,
I have no excuse now.
That was clever. Did you just divert me away from you having to play fucking Last of Us? Because I feel like you did. I feel
I tried, but I then couldn't deal with my own conscience.
I think you'd like it because it has its moments of like Resident Evil-esque, like. People probably think I'm being completely mad, but like it does have some parts to it that feel a little bit like Resident Evil-y. I don't know why.
I get that. I think there's some element, like when I played the first one, there was some bits, because it is essentially the same idea that, you know, you are surviving. You know, in Resident Evil, it's survival horror. Last of Us is kind of survival horror. You know, there are zombies coming after you in Resident Evil. In Last of Us, it's basically plant zombies. Like, it's all similar things. It's not like, you know, it's not the same, but it's very similar. So it makes sense that I enjoyed it because it's, you know, a similar kind of game. But no, I'm so ready to play them. I'm ready for it. And inject me. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Inject me.
Lots of zombie action then coming on the channel. We're gonna have two episodes of obviously Resi. Then we're gonna have a Last of Us episode. And by that point, maybe Stray's out. Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe Stray will be out next week. There is one other thing I'd like to say also. Nothing to do with Resident Evil now. We'll put that to bed for the moment. Sorry, everyone. Is I really want to give Cyberpunk a go.
Okay.
Especially, well, okay, here's the latest news. So Cyberpunk released a patch. Well, not just one. They released several patches over the course of, you know, it being released to quote unquote fix everything. And it quote unquote fixed nothing. So that is upsetting. But I've seen a lot of gameplay and storyline stuff, and I think I'd really like it.
Yeah, I feel like it was like maybe the last episode or the episode before that, and I said I think you'd like it. I think as an open world first person game, the two things that you're not always comfortable in or not always drawn to, the way the first person is done in that, it is very immersive. Like everyone else, I was a bit gutted when I found out that there was going to be no third person, and I didn't understand why we got to customize our characters. Like we had a massive rant about this not too long ago. Like, it's such a stupid idea. In actual fact, it didn't really affect me. You do get to see a character sort of throughout and in certain scenes, and
when you're driving and stuff, which I didn't realise.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
you can go first person or like third person when driving. Yeah, so you can see them. You can't always in cutscenes, but unless you're in like a mirror or something. But it really didn't affect it that much, and I didn't feel like the world was that big, even though it looks big. The flow of it was really fun. The story's really good. Um, just the style of it, like who doesn't like cyberpunk style stuff, like grungy, all that shit. Like it's great. I
Yeah.
think you'll really, really enjoy it. I like you, that was really upset about the updates not doing anything. I mean, I finished the game. It was
Oh,
difficult. Yeah, I finished it. Actually, I would quite like to talk to you about it, actually, if you do get it. That could be like another one. But
it's not
yeah, I
on the
finished the
PlayStation
game.
Store anymore. I can't even get it unless I get it
Oh god,
physically.
yeah, I forgot about it. You'd have to buy it physically, yeah. It's worth it. Actually, no, I say it's worth it. I don't know if I would pay full price for it in the state that it's in, so maybe they're right for taking it off.
Well, if you've seen, actually, let's discuss this very quickly then. So they've been refunding people, and at first they were refunding people who had the physical copy, and they didn't have to return the physical copy, and they got to keep it. And then they were refunding people with a digital copy, and they had the download removed from their PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, and they weren't allowed to keep it. But now they're saying that you can have it refunded and keep it, which I feel like is a dangerous path to walk, because how long before people start buying it to refund it and
Yeah,
like
as
still
well.
receiving updates?
The thing about this whole cyberpunk saga is, I don't know about you, like you've not even played it yet, but like for me, who's played it and stuff, like I am a little bit sick of them popping up again, like with another apology, with another
Yeah.
thing, with another this. You've given out refunds, you are giving out patches, you can't do no more. Like just stop talking about it now, get to work, fix the game, be done with it. Like
Yeah.
stop bringing out these big videos and bringing it back up again. Like it's stupid. Like it's done. I really enjoyed the game. It crashed way too many times for my liking, but nowhere near as bad as it was on previous gen consoles.
Yeah.
It's
That's bad.
playable. Just bear in mind, probably every 2 hours you're gonna get a crash. Every 2 or 3 hours you're probably gonna get a crash. I've not played it since now on the PS5, but I'm assuming a lot of the fixes were for the previous gen, so I don't think the PS5 and Xbox One and all that are going to see massive not Xbox
That
One,
would make
Xbox,
sense.
whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I think you should still see if you can maybe get a cheap copy if you kind of want to just dive into it, but
Yeah.
because I don't think they're going to bring anything out for a while in regards to like re-releasing it or anything like that. And the PlayStation 5 version's way off. I think they're working on an upgrade for The Witcher for PS5, so that's going to take up a lot of resources.
It
You know what I
sounds like
mean?
it's bitten off a lot more than they can chew.
Yeah. So I definitely think you should play it. It's just like, do you want to play it enough to go
Get a physical
around?
copy.
Yeah.
See, that just makes me a little bit nervous, because I mean, I really do want to play it. I mean, I actually can't download it, obviously, but I really do want to play it. But my fear is that I'm knowingly buying a broken game.
A faulty product, yeah.
Yeah, and like I know that a lot of people have said that on the PS5 the glitches aren't as intense as on like last gen and stuff. But the problem is I've seen videos and stuff, and I've seen footage, and I've seen people play, and I've heard stories of people playing flawless playthroughs and be like, oh, I don't know what this hype is about. I've not had a single glitch. It crashed once and that was it. Or I encountered a bit of stuttering here and there and that's it. But then I've heard like completely polar opposite, where people are like, mate, it's terrible on PS5 too, or Xbox, whatever the new console's called. Like I've seen glitches where people are like riding a bike, but their character is standing on the bike completely nude from the waist down, or like their face is missing or their head is missing, and like you fall through the scenery at any given moment, like me playing Super Mario Sunshine last week. Like I've seen terrible glitches. I'm like, I don't fully want to pay for a broken game. Like I actually really want to play it, but I don't want to waste money, frankly.
I guess that's it really. I didn't pay for it. Like me and my friend do a shared license, so I didn't feel that let down by it. It was like I didn't have to obviously pay for it, so that wasn't a thing. I think if I'd paid £55 for that game, then I'd have got a refund like within seconds and would never have touched it again. My friend is refused to play it until it gets fixed, whereas I stuck through the issues and played it. But that was just because I wanted to see all of it. Like I'd been waiting for this game for so long that I was like, fuck it, like I'll deal with it. But I think for people that aren't used to seeing certain issues like that, we'll just absolutely hate it and think it's the worst thing ever. But like we said before, like, it wasn't the most broken game. There's been even more broken games. Maybe just wait then, because it will just taint it for you. And like, I do really want to do another playthrough with a different character, but like not until everything's fixed, because I would like, you know, a proper, because it's not even just the bugs, I guess. Like, there is a lot of design issues with it, in my opinion, and something as small as like the environments and like all the cars in the environment and that, like, there's not enough cars. Like, sometimes you'll be driving on an empty road and you're like, this is meant to be a really busy, crazy city, and there's no cars. Like, what are you doing, you know?
I've heard like problems with like broken quest lines. I've heard problems of like NPCs just not turning up when they're supposed to. I've heard about seeing clones of yourself sometimes walking around.
That's a nasty one.
Which is a nasty one, because everyone is their biggest thing was that every single character was meant to be completely unique, and that's a bit of like a hard pill to swallow when you see yourself walking around. I've heard that is part of a glitch. It's not necessarily meant to be that your character's walking around, but it's meant to sometimes clone your appearance on different people. I've seen things where people say like, there's no one, you can fully find a bike to ride, like a motorbike to drive around, but you are you are always the only person riding a motorbike. So there's no other motorbikes on the road.
Yeah.
So you're the only one who can ride them, which seems weird because you look out of place in the world. And like you said, there's not enough cars on the road, and there's also not enough variation of cars.
What I found really weird as well, like, okay, fair enough, a lot of games don't really have like kids in it. You know, this game's got kids in it, but like, there'll be like this kid that looks about 7 who's just like walking around in the middle of like a huge police fight with like guns flying everywhere, and this kid's just like jamming, walking around at like in the middle of the night, who's like 6 years old, and you're like looking at this kid like, what are you doing here? Go to bed. It's just weird. They should have done that. They should have put them together as like 2 people, you know? Like, it's just weird. There's just this kid who's just living its life, doesn't give a fuck.
Walking around.
Yeah, so weird. It's just little things like that kind of take you out. Like, there's a lot of moments where the immersion's just lost, but then there's some times where the immersion's very much there, you know, because of the fact that you can see your character. So yeah, I don't know, it's such a hard one to say. It really depends on your tolerance, like, of what you want to experience. And luckily you've got a PS5, so that's going to kind of cover you a little bit. But I think knowing the kind of shit you went through with Last of Us, like the first game on the 4, maybe just wait.
Maybe just wait. Yeah,
that
was that Last of Us experience. That was, I mean, if you follow us on Instagram, if you go and search through, I did post some of the glitches I had on Last of Us, and that was annoying as fuck. Like, and it doesn't, they weren't, okay, they were quite constant in a sense, but they weren't as constant as what people are saying Cyberpunk is. But that was a wind up. Like, there was times where I died 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 times in a row for the same thing happening again and again. And I was like, I don't get. Like, there's one particular moment I remember when you're in the sewers in Last of Us, and there was one enemy, and whenever I punched him, we both then flew through the wall and went underground. And I fell through the environment, and I was like, and that happened like 7 times, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So in the end, I had to lure him out of the room and kill him elsewhere. And I was like, that's the only way that I can actually progress, because I can't kill this person in this room, because if I kill him in the room, I'm gonna fall through. So yeah, I get it. But yeah, I really would like to play it. I've seen a lot of footage, and it looks just like such a good game. Like, if it was actually made properly, it looks like it would be a sick game. But
I think hold out for a little bit. We'll yeah. I haven't even chased it up. I don't know when the next patch is due, but I guess, yeah, hold out. As much as I enjoyed it, I think I would much rather have waited. You know, if I didn't have the opportunity to play it for free, I probably wouldn't have bought it and would have waited. But I did still enjoy it, but it could have been a better experience. So yeah.
Well, there you go. Right. Well, I think we've probably come to the end of our time.
Yeah.
So this has been. So this one was a bit of a random chat, wasn't it? So
okay, so we went into this with like a little bit of like an open book, didn't we? Because we didn't quite manage to do things in the week. Playing Last of Us Part 2, ready for it. So but yeah, so we just wanted to see like what was happening in the world and have a little drink, and it was a bit weird one, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was a bit of an excuse for us to pour a couple of drinks and start talking.
Yeah, I mean, it's Saturday night.
Let's record it.
Saturday night.
Saturday night. Yeah.
But yeah, never mind. We hope you enjoy it. Yeah, hope you've had a good week.
Yeah, I hope you had a good week, and do follow us on our social media. After I talk about how we hate it, but yeah, I hope you had a good week. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and please follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram is TG Breakdown Podcast, and Twitter is it is at TG Breakdown. So yeah, we might be posting polls and stuff of what we might be doing our next episodes on and stuff. So if you want to have an opinion on what we talk about or anything like that,
or drop us a direct message with just some stuff, and we'll talk about it. Like
a direct message.
Just DM us. Slide in the DMs.
Slide in the DMs. Slither in those DMs, and we might be able to help you.
Why did that go weird?
I don't know. Right. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.